School sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports. High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life, and now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Friday Night Lights in Nassau County. We've got a good one. West Hempstead takes on Cold Spring Harbor. We'll send it down to the field for the anthem for the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Not only can she sing, she's also captain of the cheerleader.
Great job of the national anthem here as West Hempstead takes on Cold Spring Harbor on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's game is sponsored by Speed Island. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Mike Hungerford, I'm John Perez. And Mike, it's finally here, the final regular season game of the year. And we'll start with West Hempstead. They come into this game 2-5, but they have the opportunity to play spoilers. Knocking off Cold Spring Harbor today would certainly put a wrench in their plans in terms of getting a high seed come the Conference 4 playoffs.
Sure, I think when you only play 8 games a season, very small number compared to other sports, and you practice a whole bunch, every game has purpose. There's no game without a meaning. Oh, we're just playing the string out. No, we're not. It's an 8-game season. We can play spoiler right now and put a serious monkey wrench in Cold Spring Harbor's plans if we can pull the upset here tonight.
And for West Hempstead, they're going to rely on their 2 key players, and it'll be Gavin Lee as well as Nico Adamanakis.
Sure, Gavin Lee in their running game, that very tight formation with a lot of misdirection. Gavin Lee is going to be the key ball carrier tonight, trying to break one open or 2 open against a very tough Cold Spring Harbor defense.
So for Cold Spring Harbor, like you mentioned, only giving up 7 points against Oyster Bay. In fact, they've given up the 3rd fewest points in Conference 3, as they're going to roll out Alex Bauer and Ryan McGloin today, 2 very good two-way players.
Sure. Is it lacrosse season yet? Well, there's a couple of very, very talented lacrosse guys right there who are going to be we'll be talking about them a few months from now, right? But right now we're talking about them playing football, and they're going to lead the way here for Cold Spring Harbor offensively for sure.
Alex Bauer, the future Michigan Lax commit, and probably one of the lone bright spots for a future Wolverine coming up in the future. As we've got Cold Spring Harbor and West Hempstead here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We've got kickoff coming up when we come back right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Cold Spring Harbor will receive the opening kickoff as we get set to go here at Cold Spring Harbor. West Hempstead, the Rams, and the Seahawks locking horns as that is Riley Leddick who kicks it away, and Cold Spring Harbor on the return. And the first touch for Ryan McGloin, the senior, with a 5-yard carry. And let's meet this Cold Spring Harbor gunslinger, or Sam Bruno. And we mentioned those very good two-sport athlete, Sam Bruno, leading the charge for Cold Spring Harbor. He's someone who, when he's thrown the ball, Mike, he's been efficient, but he's been very good at managing the offense and doing a good job for the Seahawks this season.
Sure, I think that's what you need out of Bruno with the other players, the other skilled players they have, is distribute the ball, manage the game, and make good decisions and get you ball out to your playmakers as much as possible.
Expect to see two run-heavy offenses, and it's a ground-and-pound game here in a Conference 4 showdown, final week of the regular season, and we'll be seeing a lot of Alex Bauer in the backfield as he gets the first give on the first drive of the game. A pickup of 4. And let's meet the rest of the offense for Cold Spring Harbor, coming off a 28-7 win against Oyster Bay. In fact, they've now won 4 games in a row, as it's Bruno, Bauer, McKean, McGloin, Schoonmaker, Pisano, Howell, Ulico, Riley, Grigo, and Tucker Stella.
Good first down play by Cold Spring Harbor, getting almost nearly 4 and change. So 2nd and 6, good situation to work with, calling the plays.
Second down give. That's Brady McKean. Now eclipses 200 yards on the ground on the season as he gets upended by this West Hempstead defense, and they'll be led by Lanica Jean, Tom DiCostanzo, John Merrow, Rodrigo Martinez, Declan Cole, Joe Ortiz, Nico Adamanakis, Chris Young, Jaden Threewitz, and Christian Dildy.
So you got a very makeable situation here for Cold Spring Harbor on 3rd and 3, and I think, I talk about a lot of my broadcasts. I'm a big believer in winning on early downs. John, trying to get ahead of his sticks a little bit, and they're in a pretty good situation right near Cold Spring Harbor with 3rd and 3.
Well, one of the keys to the game is the pitch comes near side, and this is Bauer. And Bauer, the future Wolverine, gets across midfield and brought down at the 47-yard line on a good tackle by Jaden Threewitz. And we'll take another look, Mike. But one of the keys to this game is sustaining long drives and establishing the running game early, and Cold Spring Harbor's done so on the first drive.
Sure, right now it's a run-heavy kind of an offense. I think it's a situation where they're going to run. I think both teams are going to run, and then all of a sudden you're going to get that play-action pass, that situation where it's of a secondary guy's eyes in the right places. They're reading their keys correctly. They play in pass first, and if they're not, they're going to get surprised for a big gain in the passing game.
When we spoke to John Madrensky earlier in the week, he gave a lot of credit to his offensive line and said they're the big reason why we're 6-1 this year. A team that only won 2 games a year ago. As Brady McKean, the big draw on first down, and a pickup of 8 before he's stopped again by 3 Wits.
Great first down play by Cold Spring Harbor on that ball right behind the right side of that offensive line. Grego and Stella over there on the right side, and a great pickup of 8 yards.
Brought down by the Rams, number 24.
And McKean, just a guy that's so lean, 6'1", 185, but so hard to bring down, doesn't have a ton of muscle. But what he makes up in the lack of muscle, he's got at speed. And Cold Spring Harbor, if they're going to win in the playoffs, they're going to have to rely on McKean when Bauer's not getting the carries. And a good little tune-up for McKean and Bauer before they head into the playoffs after today.
Sure, really good 1-2 punch.
2nd and 2, the give is to Bauer, shakes off a couple of defenders, and now into the secondary. And he's got eyes on the end zone, but brought down from behind. Christian Dildy knocks him down from behind, but not after the 25-yard carry. And that'll set up Cold Spring Harbor in the red zone.
You can see Bauer's got a good feel there. Ball getting ran right there, and all of a sudden gets in there and then cuts it back, finds a window, and there was touchdown-saving tackle right there by West Hempstead. I think if you Coach John Madrensky was just what you're asking for on your first drive, right? Come out, get the ball, and let's start pounding the rock a little bit and run it right down their throat.
1st and 10 from the 12. Up the middle is number 11. Bauer has one man to beat, angling to the end zone. Touchdown. From 12 yards out, Alex Bauer scores his 10th touchdown of the season as the Seahawks strike first, 6-0 at home.
That's a 12-yard touchdown.
You can see the
for number 11.
Excellent, abilities of Bauer, just his feel for the game. And they once again run that ball right. Good turnout by the tight end, gets up inside of it. And see the little hesitation move right there to get to the end zone by Bauer. Good running instincts and a really good block by the tight end right there, Timmy Pisano. Good turnout.
Pisano, 6'2", 195 of brute force, a two-way player, tight end and linebacker. As it'll be Ben Stark to kick the PAT. And Declan Schoonmaker, the holder, and a flag before the snap. And so this will move up half the distance on the encroachment called against West Hempstead. High snap, good hold, and the kick end over end is good. As Cold Spring Harbor drills it, Ben Stark with the PAT.
Ben Stark is good.
And so Cold Spring Harbor, mission accomplished. Drive 1, get in the end zone, and they lead at 7-0. It's 3 minutes and 7 seconds into the contest. And, Mike, as a former football coach, this is always, you can look at this game kind of as a trap game for multiple reasons, right? You're looking ahead to next week, but also at the same time, you don't want anybody to get hurt. So how does Madrensky and, the game plan change coming into this game, knowing that, yes, you want to win this game, pick up 7 wins, it's a big accomplishment, but the eyes on the prize are that Long Island championship?
Sure, I think they've already demonstrated right now that they're pretty focused right now. Home crowd, last home game of the regular season. Looks like if they win tonight, they'll get a home quarterfinal game as well. So, they came out and answered the bell right away. So I think they're pretty focused, but yet I think when guys, especially in the sport of football, when guys' minds aren't in the right place or right in our frame of mind, oh, coach, we got you until we don't have you, that's where you tend to get injuries. Guys aren't focused and they're not paying attention necessarily to details, and you just don't play well. But I think if they can bottle this first series for the next, 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, they're going to be in great shape going forward.
And so for West Hempstead, they'll now have possession. And Dom Carey saying this week that he's been preaching to his guys, hey, let's play spoiler. Let's not make it easy for Cold Spring Harbor. Let's give ourselves an opportunity as the ball trickles out of bounds. A penalty against Ben Stark and good field position for the Rams, as they'll be led by their quarterback Declan Cole, wearing number 7 in white. And Cole, somebody who's gotten better from last year from a maturity standpoint. This is a West Hempstead team, Mike, that last year won 9 games, lost to North Shore in the Nassau County Final, lost a lot, but Cole was thrown into the fire this year, and he's handled it well.
Sure, he's had a good season. I mean, don't let their record belie the fact he's done pretty well, and you know, he's managed the games for them very well. And sometimes that gets lost in the wins and losses, right? The old, you know, our record is who we are. Well, sometimes it's not always the case. Some guys can play, some players can play really well within a framework of not being overly successful in the team concept.
10, West Hempstead.
And so the Rams will start it off at their own 35-yard line. And just like Cold Spring Harbor wanting to establish the run, that's exactly the offense that we'll see for the Rams. And on the reverse, Lee gives it off to Christian Dildy, and Dildy powers up ahead, the speedster, 5'9", 150 pounds, as we'll meet the offense for West Hempstead, coming off a 42-14 win against Carl Place Whitley. It's Cole, Lee, Dildy, Gian Leddick, Adam Anakis, along with John Merrow, Lanick. There's only 26 players on the roster, so unfortunately for Declan, he's just another piece, so he's going to have to block. He's going to have to do whatever's expected there. Let's take another look at this run.
Looks like he thought he was going to go outside. The Cold Spring defense was kind of bending outside a little bit. He cut it back and gets north and south. I like how fast he gets north and south. Pretty decisioning.
First and goal from the 6, up the middle. Pyle continues to push forward.
Just a little dive with the fullback right there. I don't know if they play a trap there. I didn't see a lineman pulling right there, but that's just a wedge inside. The lineman are toe-to-toe. There's almost no splits. What I mean by splits is the gaps between each lineman are called a split. Generally speaking, the splits are anywhere from 1.5 to 2 feet anywhere. These guys are like shoe to shoe. You know, there's no splits, and they can wedge it up in there and get those short yardage plays pretty easily.
There's the first run of the game for Dan Gian. Some movement up front, and a flag comes out. And the 2 line judges will talk it over. And this should be against the Rams.
Looks like they were going to try going a little bit of a long count right there. And maybe go on 2. And it looks like they caught the Rams a little bit. But when you're first and goal and you had a good first down play, and now these are the penalties, these little 5-yard penalties that really set you back. When you don't get in, sometimes you look back and say that those are the drive killer kind of plays, those little penalties.
Time of possession coming up on 3 minutes for the Rams, as that's something that they want to establish. The pitch, and this is Dildy. Gets good footing and gets slammed into a wall of Seahawks. There's James Grigo in there.
Who are we giving it to?
On the short toss again, you can see right there coming up and making a big hit right there. Number 2, Brady McKean.
Stopped by Cold Spring Harbor's number 77, James Greco, and Jason Meek.
Yeah, so Grigo and, like you said, McKean in there, and McKean, obviously a two-way player. Cold Spring Harbor doesn't exactly have a big roster either, so you'll see a lot of two-way players and contributing that way. But a lot of guys that are not afraid to have contact and some more shuffling up front.
This one's going to be against the Seahawks. They're going to trade those 5 yards back. Walk half the distance, kind of a penalty here now. So it'll be 3rd down. It looks like just inside the 4-yard line. Closer to the 3.
Yeah, and a chance to respond for the Rams.
Definitely 2-down territory right here. If you're West Hempstead, you got 2 plays in your pocket right now.
Running wide, Gavin Lee scours ahead and pinned down.
41.
Big time hit. That was Andrew Mazzi, the senior. This is his first year playing football, and you know what? He looks like a WWE wrestler there.
Yeah, he clubbed it up and drove him back right there. Brought his lower half with him. Yep, that's good. That's solid tackle right there. I thought Lee was going to bounce that and try to get to the pylon a little bit, and he cut it back up inside. And that's where the trouble came in the form of Mr. Mazzi.
So 4th and goal, they're going for it with a yard out. Ball hits the carpet. West Hempstead doesn't get in. turnover on downs.
I mean, both teams traded those penalties back and forth a little bit, but you can't make mistakes down by the goal line and expect to get in. That's a little bit of what West Hempstead has been this year, a little bit unfortunately for them, right? They have a great drive and they were unable to finish it. And momentum, they were starting to get the momentum really headed in their direction, turn the game, but you can see it looks like the ball hits the ground here. He's get a handle on it. Can't really tell right there. I might have missed it. I apologize. But definitely talk about winning the line of scrimmage right there. The defensive line, the interior of the defensive line, Pisano, Stern, Stella, winning that battle up front.
So Cold Spring Harbor takes over from their own 3, and they power ahead. And they Bruno calls his own number on first down and a big pickup of 7.
Number 5.
When you're starting a drive so deep in your own territory, you just want to get positive yardage, and you want to. The goal, I think, is always try to get 2 first downs. If you're inside your 5-yard line, if you can get 2 first downs, even if you eventually have to punt, you could probably punt and flip the field and make the other team have to drive much longer to score. So a pretty productive 7 yards on first down for Cold Spring Harbor. Good starting point.
If you look at Bruno's rushing stats, you could say that he is a running back in his own right and has him there. He's averaging more than 5 yards a pop. And so his first passing play, driven out and brought down as he sees a wall of Rams with the takedown.
Looks like he might have been trying to take a shot right there on second down.
Seahawk run number 5, Sam Bruno, ends up going nowhere, leaving Cold Spring Harbor.
And so a loss of 4 after the play. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. And, like you mentioned, West Hempstead, obviously you want to get into the end zone, but I guess the one consolation prize is if you could roll a 3 and out here, you'll take it as well.
Sure is the difference, right, between getting that couple of first downs and maybe punting from your 27 to 28. Now you're looking at punting inside your 10 or 5 yard line. It's a way different situation.
Could be one of the last plays of the first quarter. And Bruno chugging himself. Range is wide. That'll move the sticks. There goes Bruno past the 30, up the sideline, and brought down at the 42-yard line. Big pickup for Bruno on a 37-yard run. Powers the Seahawks forward.
Just what the Cold Spring Harbor fans wanted to see right there. He just got quarterback sweep. Takes up the sideline. Use all those backs as blockers and find your hole and get up the sideline. And Bruno shows some of his elusiveness, speed, and toughness at the end to get the yardage for a first down.
Cheerleaders!
So forget that punting thing, John. You got 1st and 10 of your 41 right now. You've got your 1 first down better than 2 right now.
Up the gut on first down. Flag is in there after the run by McKean.
Looks like you might have a hold here. We talked about the last play of the half of the quarter. Excuse me. You might have a couple more plays tacked on. We'll see here.
There is a flag on the play, though.
And so while we wait for the official word, Cold Spring Harbor does as well, leading 7-0 on the 12-yard touchdown run by Alex Bauer. His 10th touchdown of the season. This will go against the Rams. And then an unsportsmanlike afterwards as well. So 2 penalties against West Hempstead. Cold Spring Harbor coming off, and that'll do it for the first quarter. As the Seahawks lead at 7-0 over West Hempstead. You're watching Conference 4 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Boys basketball is up and running. Nice sales of hot dogs, hamburgers.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Inside the 10 to the end zone.
Oh, he's got a wide open receiver. AJ Duff. Get out of the way! Dante Torres! The end zone. Touchdown.
10-5 touchdown.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
7-0 Cold Spring Harbor as we begin the second quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and all Nassau County semifinal and championship games will be live streamed on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball coming up this fall. Be sure to watch on varsitymediapass.com.
Awesome, let's go. Playoffs.
We've got some soccer going on right now. We'll have a ton of girls and boys soccer tomorrow. I'll be camped out here at Cold Spring Harbor the whole weekend, so should be a lot of fun as the Seahawks take over at the 39-yard line. And the give to Alex Bauer. Up ahead, no one's going to stop Bauer. Touchdown from 39 yards out. Alex Bauer gets into the end zone, but a flag is down. And this could wipe it off.
Great looking play right there out of a toss, but I think it's coming back. We have a hold. Mike Momino, the white hat, the referee on the game, veteran official with a very veteran crew right here. You know when that side judge throws the flag on the sideline of the team who's scoring, he must really know I think it's a hold, and be sure of it, because you're going to hear it from those coaches a little bit on the sidelines a little bit after you throw that one. So I think they'll come back to that toss again. They pulled that guard, and the back's out in front. That was a good looking play. They certainly had the West Hempstead guys outnumbered right there to the boundary. And I think that play's coming out of the mouth of the Cold Spring Harbor offensive coordinator once again very soon.
Mike Passuello and Mike Ferrigiarli, two assistant coaches for John Madrensky. As Bauer in the first quarter, 4 carries for 51 yards. That would have been 90 yards and 2 TDs, but wiped off as Cold Spring Harbor. First and long from the 49, and the give to Bauer, not nearly as long, but still a pickup of 3.
The power eye right there, just an ISO play up inside. Solid gain of a little more than 4 yards right there, but it still puts him in the second and long.
Stopped by the Rams, number 24.
I know that we joked about it in the open about some of the key players for Cold Spring Harbor, but a ton of these guys also play lacrosse, and Mike, having specialties obviously in both sports. When you look at Bauer, McGloin, guys like that, can you, what abilities do they have on the football field that make them good lacrosse players and vice versa? I know they're great athletes, but what sticks out to you when you watch them in person?
Bauer's one of us. He's a tough kid. He plays hard and plays downhill, and you can see that whole football trait. So just right there.
Bauer again, future Wolverine, powering forward, gets some blocks to the 20, brought down from behind. And no laundry that time after the tackle by Gavin Lee. Cold Spring Harbor sets up shop at the 15 after the big pickup. And we'll take another look by Alex Bauer.
It's like they're running a counter right there, and he cuts that back in the open space. Good block right there, a little knockdown right there. And Gavin Lee with another touchdown-saving tackle right there.
31-yard gain.
Big chunk plays right now for Cold Spring Harbor. They had one just called back, but in this guy, another one right here, and they're driving.
Good blocking up front. Reagan Riley, Hunter Ulico, Tucker Steller leading the way.
That one faked me. I didn't even see her on that one.
Fullback up inside right there. Looks like
33.
Yeah, so that's Sean Ecker, the junior, and the fullback that takes it. And
Sean Ecker.
Ecker's somebody who is a good asset to have, especially at that fullback position. He's a good extra blocker, but he's got some good wheels as well. The issue is that you've got McKean and you've got Bauer in the backfield, so the playing time is just not there for him yet.
You have to run the fullback a little bit in this offense. Same with both teams with their running style. You have to keep the defense balanced by moving the ball around the different players in different spots, and the fullback will keep you honest when you trap with him and run dives up inside with him.
2nd and 9, McKean the carry, and a gain of 4.
Little blast right there, sending 2 backs there, 1 back at the end, 1 back up inside, give the ball to the tailback. And the defense right now, the last 2 plays from West Hempstead has stiffened a little bit, which is good for them, but they're not in a great spot right now to work with. And you got to figure Cold Spring Harbor with 2 plays here, probably not looking to attempt a field goal, looking more like they want to drive and score and widen their lead early here in the fast-moving second quarter.
When you blink your eye, the first quarter's over. In fact, they wiped 4 seconds off the clock. Right up the middle. On the keeper was Bruno.
Just a quarterback sneak right there.
5 yards out.
Not the tush-push variety, but the Eagles have now made famous. But just
keeper.
when you're the offensive quarter and you're looking at that defensive line, it looks a little soft up in there, maybe depending on their alignment. I don't know if that's a check with me or an automatic, but Bruno could just call out himself. But that's a pretty good quarterback keeper right there for 5 yards.
That gives Cold Spring Harbor first and goal.
Well, it wasn't just a push. It was like a catapult for Bruno as he goes over 5 yards. What was the other name? The brotherly bump, I think, right? I'm trying to think of the other names. But
sure.
Tush push still the got to copyright that. I mean, they're going to get rid of it next year. You might as well try and cash in if you can nowadays.
Timeout here by West Hempstead. It looks like Mike Mormino signaling that the Rams want to talk it over right now.
West Hempstead, 8 minutes, 32 seconds left in the
I think it could also be, too, when you look at Conference 4 and you're playing your entire personnel, too, that there could be some fatigue factor as well. And we'll talk about that a little more when we come back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Just over 8.5 to play in the second quarter. Cold Spring Harbor with the lead at home. And let's take a look at how the Seahawks got to this point in the season, Mike. And in week 3, falling to Locust Valley 20-8. Since then, they've been undefeated and they've outscored their opponents by a wide margin, including that 46-0 win. But good wins at Malvern and at Oyster Bay.
Sure, solid season. Anytime you're working on your 7th win in 8 games, you're doing something right. And they're certainly one of the class teams in the conference. Of course, Malvern taking a little hit with the loss of their star, future Nittany Lion.
Josiah Brown going down, and that's a Malvern team that's banged up as well. Brendan McLaughlin also dealing with some injuries. So is Chad Wesley. Here's the flip. Bauer, he's healthy, and he's into the end zone for his 2nd TD of the day. That's his 11th of the year, and Cold Spring Harbor leads it by a baker's dozen.
See right there, that's a little misdirection right there. One back goes to the right, the other 2 backs go to the left, giving the ball to
number 11, Alex Bauer.
You can see one back goes to the right, the other 2 backs go left. They toss it, lead him up inside, and just challenging the defense to have their eyes in the right places all the time.
And so Ben Stark now on for the extra point. And a low snap, so here's Declan Schoonmaker. Trick play, flip to the end zone and batted away. Declan Cole on the pass from Declan Schoonmaker.
I think that was a fire call right there. I think you get that snap down, he called fire and tried to get in the end zone and couldn't make it work. But
leading Cold Spring Harbor
13-0 for Cold Spring Harbor right now.
So we saw the Seahawks schedule. Let's take a look at the Rams schedule. And 2 wins this year. This is a team that won 9 games a year ago, falling to North Shore in the Nassau County Final. And, tough losses to the teams above them, North Shore, Malvern, the Powers, Locust Valley as well. But Dom Carey says that it was a few bounces here and a few bounces there, and West Hempstead was in those games, and those scores not really indicative of the final scores.
Well, I think what's interesting is the 2 games they won against Lawrence and Carl Place Wheatley, they really won by good margins, and they're only a little bit ahead of those 2 teams in the standings. But meanwhile, it seems like to me that they're much better than those guys, and their games against the other teams were a little bit more competitive. But when they didn't win them, it still puts them down in the rankings, in the PowerPoints in the standings. So they're definitely better than some of the teams below them, but they're not. They just couldn't match up against the guys ahead of them. Tough season.
there's any room for encouragement, the West Hempstead JV team has won 7 games so far this year, and we'll see if that translates to the next level. As Gavin Lee picks up the loose chains, gets out of a tackle, sheds past the 20-yard line, flag is down, and Lee is angled out of bounds.
Looks like he might have a face mask there.
Yeah.
Gavin Lee is pushed out of bounds by Cold Spring Harbor's number 14, Andrew Hadjandrea.
They had him back pretty deep, and he wiggled his way out of it, and got to secure those tackles if you Cold Spring Harbor.
There is a flag on the play.
So a little bit of that yellow flag been around a little bit tonight so far.
It'll be Brian Taylor, the one that is called for the flag, as this pushes back the Rams, who did everything right on their first drive but score, and had a few penalties in there, could not get in, and a drive that was about 4 minutes and change came up empty for West Hempstead, trying to control the clock and the pace of the game. Now they see themselves down by 2 scores.
Sure, they have to refocus right now. Just get back to what they were running before. They had a great first possession. They just couldn't punch it in. And now, Cold Spring Harbor's going 2 for 2, so they have to get a drive going here.
1st and 10 from the 15. Cole slings it and overshoots his target in Riley Leddick, who was wide open and just a little too much mustard on the pass.
Intended for number 21, Riley Leddick.
Leddick was dragging across the formation there, came all the way across, and he was able to keep Cole was able to keep the play alive a little bit, but just couldn't. Kind of like one of the previous plays, he got it behind him a little bit. Just need a little bit more accuracy on that one and get it down a little bit, more catchable ball. A little waggle action right there with that backside drag coming open late.
Cole now 1 for 3 for 27 yards. And back out on offense, 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Bunch up the line, straight draw. And that's Lee chugging ahead.
Right up inside right now, wedge it up and see what they can get. Leaves them with a pretty tough 3rd and 8 right now.
Short gain that leaves West Hempstead 3rd and long.
So right now, if you predominantly a running offense, 8 yards in a play isn't an easy accomplishment. To get all 8 yards at once. If you don't make it, you're going to have to punt. So you may see a play action here or some type of pass play.
Dildy in motion. Ball hits the turf, and Cole pounces on top of it.
Ball on the ground again briefly for West Hempstead.
Number 7, Declan Cole for a short gain. That leaves West Hempstead 4th and long from about the 17-yard line.
Not sure if you've seen this. Dom Carey basically comes all the way out to the numbers on the sideline to talk to his quarterback and relay the sign. And
in the era of plays being signaled in and stuff, both these teams have the quarterback as the runner back and forth to the coach. A little different. Looks like they're going for it here on 4th and 8.
4th and 8 whistle and a flag and a jump.
A little movement up front. Move that one back.
And so we'll see if this changes plans for the Rams.
This might change the play call, for sure. Looks like they're still in the mode of going for it here, though.
And so you're right, the Rams will go for it. 4th and 12, and there's the pooch punt. Gavin Lee, who is under center, punts it straight up. You hear Poison and gets it to the 31-yard line.
Little motion toss to the punt right there.
31-yard line.
Kind of a quick kick type of a situation.
6 minutes, 18 seconds left in the half.
Great starting field position for Cold Spring Harbor. The defense has done a good job that series. West Hempstead couldn't duplicate their success on their first series. Second time around, they had a running play for not too much, an incomplete pass. Penalty thrown in. Next thing you know, you're in a tough position. So, great field position for the Seahawks now, looking for their 3rd score of the evening.
And so it'll be Sam Bruno going back to the huddle as Bruno doing a good job in the first quarter. A couple rushes for 44 yards. And
this is one of those downs, John, where maybe, you look for a quick little play action here right now, the home run.
2s and 3s in there as well and get them some playing time and sharpen them up for the playoffs. And Seahawks going for 2. Bruno the pitch. It's Bauer. Shakes, rattles, and rolls into the end zone. And the 2-point conversion is good.
Nice looking option play right there. Bauer they had a player there for him. The X and O's were good for West Hempstead, but he makes that man miss. Just puts a foot in the ground, makes him miss. Those everyday running back drills coming in handy. You can see on the option play right here. And West Hempstead had players in the right spots, but Bauer makes it right and gets in the end zone for the 2.
And he's just so tough to stop for anybody, and he's been efficient so far for the Seahawks as now West Hempstead sees themselves down 3 scores and a critical juncture of the ball game. Still 5.5 to go in the first half, and they don't want this to get ugly and have to deal with a large deficit and want to keep themselves in this game going into the half.
Speaking with Coach Madreski, he was kind of hoping that his team would play, I think what we've seen so far, they came out businesslike, put the hammer down a little bit and take care of business. He didn't want this to become a drag-out kind of situation. He thought he was the better team. Obviously, with the records aren't the same, so he's not wrong in thinking that. And what he saw on film, thought he had the advantage. And I think his team has listened to him. They've come out ready to play tonight. And senior ceremony before, and last regular season home game for seniors, so let's get it done.
It's good atmosphere as well, too. We saw the little Seahawks as well, a good cheerleading team on the return. This is Brian Taylor.
62, Aiden Smith.
And so the Rams will take over at the 31-yard line.
Looks like Aiden Smith on the tackle right there on special teams for the Seahawks. They have a flag down right now.
That leaves West Hempstead 1st and 10.
And so it'll be a holding against West Hempstead.
Another penalty?
And so for the Rams now.
Penalties on special teams, John, are just killer plays. They're just killer plays because they usually involve a return and they put you back in worse field position.
That's now 5 penalties for 40 yards called against the Rams. And that's not going to get it done.
Special teams penalties, especially on returns, usually put you in bad field position. That's usually the end result. And right now they're starting inside their 25.
And so Cole under center. He's got 2 receivers, top of your screen. That's Lee on the outside in the slot. And as the give is to Jaden Threewitz. And Threewitz, the gain of 5.
Good adjustment there by West Hempstead, just changing the formation up a little bit. They've been kind of in the same formation, two tight ends with 2 wings and a fullback. And this time they just basically take the tight end and one of the wings and make them as a twin formation, as a wide out, as a split end of the slot, trying to see if they could stretch that Cold Spring Harbor defense a little bit and get them out of the box. One thing this kind of offense, John, will do is it'll make your secondary players have to be major run support players early on because the formation is so tight. So now they're trying to take some of those run defenders out of the box. You can see Bruno walking away, and you have a safety, so trying to lighten it up inside there a little bit.
Cole keeps it himself, pushes forward, should have enough for the first down.
He'll be close.
Keeper by number 7, Declan Cole.
I like the coaching adjustment by the Rams, though, just trying to get that extra defender out of the box by walking those 2 receivers away. That's the receivers away, and especially to the field, to the wide side of the field, which stretches the Cold Spring Harbor defense just enough to maybe give them one less defender in the box, maybe more of a gray area guy that could get in late, but you can account for more of the blockers with your offensive players. Ball kind of dead in the field right now, so now they're...
The pitch, this is Dildy, and nowhere to go, wrapped up from behind. That was Pisano in there, as well as James Howell, the senior captain.
Good tackles right there by the Seahawks defense.
Senior captain.
James Howell, one of those guys that was a captain, originally tight end, defensive end combination, but now seen as a tackle, great football IQ, and someone that just anchors the front line for the Seahawks.
Plays with a high motor, gets off the ball, and plays 100 miles an hour, and that's going to get the job done. When you might not be the biggest player on that line, but if you play with a high motor, you're going to be pretty good.
Had 19 total tackles coming into Week 8. And so Cole is back to pass, flings it far side, has a man, it's Gavin Lee. And Lee pushed out of bounds just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
First completion of the game for the Rams, and good looking play right there. Lee wide open in that really the deeper flat right there.
West Hempstead moves the chains.
He just ran it out right there. It was open. There was a little bit of a breakdown in coverage there for the Seahawks.
Moves the 6, 13 yards, and
I think when the quarterback got outside the pocket a little bit, that low coverage defender, that low flat defender broke coverage and went for the quarterback and let Lee become open.
We got to do our time.
Quick hitter, overshoots the target. Dildy was the intended receiver, and good coverage by James Howell. Well, coming up at the half, Jared Veluzzi speaks to Sam Bruno. We'll have first half highlights and more right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Jared Veluzzi is a busy guy.
Yeah.
He's all work all the time. He gets a lot of good stuff done. Very impressed by his work for the fall. Loves football. Loves the kids who play at Long Island, and has done a great job.
I think he's been a great ambassador, and he is, I think, only a few years older than most of the student athletes, which is crazy because I feel like I've known him forever, and he just does a fantastic job. He's on the rise. He's going to take all of our jobs in the future. But as of right now, he's an intern, so we just put him to work every time that we can. And he knocks it out of the park every single time. Second down and 10. On the rollout, and pass incomplete.
Incomplete pass intended for number 24.
That's a long ball to throw right there. You have a long distance to go, and you can see arm strength's a little not so great there getting the ball to that direction. I thought the slot receiver ran a little bit of a flag pattern. Thought he might have been open if he could have got it to him. But it's once again a long ball from that left hash all the way to receiver on the right numbers.
Yeah,
during halftime, we do
Adika Manakis was the intended receiver, and now sets up 3rd and 10.
One of the difficulties, John, is right now you're down 3 scores if you're West Hempstead, but if you're throwing in completions, you might be giving Coach Harbor the ball back with the time to tag one on, right? Taking down a touchdown, tack another one on before the end of the half, so.
Rush comes. Cole rolling on the run, intercepted. Sam Bruno with the pick. Some QB on QB crime as Bruno with the INT. And that'll give the Seahawks possession. Well, you said it, Mike. Some opportunities, some passing plays. This could result in Cold Spring Harbor getting the ball back. Well, Sam Bruno took initiative.
Good job by Bruno. You can see him playing safety, just reading the quarterback and coming downhill and jumping that route right there. It's interesting how quarterbacks, you play the position, kind of have a feel where your other number is going to go with the ball sometimes. And good job by Bruno stepping in on it. In small school football like this, a lot of times the quarterbacks are playing on the defensive end of the field. And good play by Bruno. And now you have 2 minutes and 23 seconds for Cold Spring Harbor. It's really a 2-minute situation, something good to practice before coming into the playoffs. Your 2-minute drill situation will be very different than practice to do it against a live opponent.
Here's Bauer, already with 3 scores today, looking for another one, and just a big carry. As Bruno, just shy of the 40, brought down from behind.
Looks like Dildy right there. The tackle slowed him up. He was going to go if Dildy couldn't get him. Good tackle by Dildy.
That's good enough.
I was almost expecting him to get out of that one a little bit and score, but great tackle by Dildy.
41-yard line.
Now the clock restarts again here, John. Once the change is set, the clock starts. You can see it running. So we have an official up here running the clock. It is official on the scoreboard. So maybe they'll be moving a little bit quicker in and out of the huddle. Cold Spring Harbor with their full complement of timeouts, so plenty of time and to get the ball into the end zone if you're the Seahawks.
1st and 10 from the 41.
A little more of an inside power play right there, just setting both backs, one inside, one outside, picking your spots.
Do we know who had it? Number 11.
And so that was Bauer again.
Alex Bauer once again.
And with a gain of 3.
Coach Bedrowski doesn't seem to be in too much of a rush. I think he's in a situation where if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't, right? Feels pretty comfortable with his lead right now.
Yeah, I don't see why not. And you're right. They could still be running different things that don't consist of their 2-minute offense as well. You can dig a little bit deeper into those trick plays as Bauer goes to the sideline. And new personnel in the backfield. And that's Ryan McCloyan lined up as the halfback. Or check that. This is Andrew Mazzy. As Mazzy and dragged down by Riley Lettick.
On the toss play right there, they got upfield a little bit that time. West Hempstead and kind of cut the play in half a little bit. Good defense right there by the Rams.
Of the Rams, Riley Lettick. Short gain on the play, Cold Spring Harbor, 3rd and 7.
Now look at them moving a little bit quicker, but still not looking to use those timeouts. So he's just going to try to see if they can pop one here. If they can't, they'll go to halftime and figure it out.
Final 15 seconds to go in the first half. The pitch. Mazzy. Back-to-back gives. Tripped up and brought down. And that should do it for the first half. But it was all Cold Spring Harbor as Alex Bauer finds the end zone 3 times. And that's the score right now as the Seahawks go into the locker room leading 21-0 over West Hempstead. We'll take a break. When we come back, Jared Veluzzi speaks to Sam Bruno. And we'll have some first half highlights from the first half and get you all caught up with the second half. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jared Veluzzi, and joined alongside me, Sam Bruno, the quarterback out of Cold Spring Harbor High School. And Sam, the Seahawks have been on a hot streak, including a huge win over Malvern. I mean, what it means to you guys to go into Malvern and get that incredible victory.
I mean, obviously we knew it was going to be like our toughest competition of the year. So coming out with a win in that game, like started off the second half of our season good for us. We're looking forward to keep it going and just like moving on to the next game. Not thinking about it too much now, just thinking about the next game.
And, you know, a theme that I've seen with your team is a lot of football guys and lacrosse guys. Cold Spring Harbor, small town, feels like you guys play everything together. What's that connection like with your teammates?
Obviously, we're all just best friends. We've known each other forever, been playing with each other forever, football and lacrosse. So we just have this great connection. got each other's backs wherever on the field, off the field. We're all a big family.
Yeah, and on the offensive side of the ball, you, Alex Bauer, all the guys playing extremely well. What's been working so well on the offense?
Honestly, just trusting our guys up front with the line, trusting each other, knowing where each other are going to be, whether we're throwing the ball, running the ball, following our blocks. It's just working together as a team, yeah.
Yeah, and with 4 straight wins, what's the energy like in the locker room right now with you and the guys?
Obviously, we're having a good time. Good to win, but we're trying to stay focused. Just look to the next game. Don't overlook any teams because we don't want our season to take a turn downhill.
You guys against West Hempstead is going to be awesome, but let's get into some fun rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
In the locker room before a big game, what's your go-to song to listen to?
I like the song "Reflections" by Mr. Wise. Not sure if you know it, but
I've heard of it. Yeah. And also, it's that time of the year, Halloween right around the corner. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
A big Kit Kat guy. I love the Kit Kats. I could eat so many of those. Can take down a bag whenever.
And then, what would you say your favorite movie of all time is?
Talladega Nights. Love Ricky Bobby. Great movie. Super funny. Never gets old. Yeah.
If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. Yeah.
Obviously, I know you're extremely busy, football, lacrosse, all year round, but what's your favorite go-to hobby outside of sports?
Play a couple instruments. Play the guitar and the piano. That's kind of just like what I do in my free time. Big music guy. But yeah, that's really it. A lot of sports. That's kind of taking up most of my time right now. So play some video games too.
Yeah, that's fantastic right there. Well, Sam, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jared Veluzzi. Back over to you guys.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Hey, this is Solomon Thomas with the New York Jets, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Back here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, fantastic job by the Cold Spring Harbor cheerleading team, doing a good job rallying the fans into this game, and it's been a fun one so far for the home team as they lead at 21-0 here at homecoming as well as senior day. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, we've got stats and first half highlights on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Hey Mom and Dad, how about a personalized hype video of your athlete produced by Varsity Media? Cinematic coverage of game action plus on-camera interviews by our crew set to music will make your son or daughter look like the next superstar. Perfect for social media fame and college recruiting. Don't wait, reach out today. Spots are limited this fall. 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Back here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, still halftime, Cold Spring Harbor with a 21-0 lead over West Hempstead here in the final regular season game of the year. He's Mike Hungerford, I'm John Perez, and it was the Alex Bauer show in the first half as the Michigan lacrosse commit and junior finding the end zone 3 times. And Mike, this is what got the party started, his first touchdown of the day from 12 yards out.
Sure, he's been the recipient of some great offensive line work, some really good blocking from both sides of the line, right and left, but he did some tremendous cuts along the way to get himself freed up.
Bauer, 11 rushes for 141 yards. As you take a look at the stats and skew heavily in favor of Cold Spring Harbor, they have not completed a pass yet. That's why West Hempstead has 40 passing yards, but just look at the rushing yards and the penalties against West Hempstead. That's been a big difference in the game, and the 3 big plays, so by big plays we mean 20-plus yards, those 3 plays for Cold Spring Harbor, just to the 1 for West Hempstead. And like we mentioned, with Alex Bauer doing a good job as he scored his 3rd touchdown. It was a fast play. It was from 19 yards out, and that's good enough for our Speed Island Speedy play of the game as we take another look. And boy, Mike, he was pretty fast on this one.
Right there on the pitch out of a toss, just gets the corner, turns the corner, gets the edge, and boom, there it is, touchdown. One of his 3.
We'll see if Bauer goes for more, and we'll see the rest of the personnel for Cold Spring Harbor as we're still a few minutes away from the start of the second half. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll get you ready for half number 2 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
As we're 3 minutes, 45 seconds away from the start of the 3rd.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Hey Mom and Dad, how about a personalized hype video of your athlete produced by Varsity Media? Cinematic coverage of game action, plus on-camera interviews by our crew set to music will make your son or daughter look like the next superstar. Perfect for social media fame and college recruiting. Don't wait, reach out today. Spots are limited this fall. 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. As we start the second half, Cold Spring Harbor has the lead as they have 3 touchdown scores by Alex Bauer. And it's been a fun one so far for the Seahawks as Bauer has just been dominating, 141 yards on the ground, looking for more. And Mike, if you're Cold Spring Harbor, you have to like the little tune-up before the playoffs next week.
Sure, I mean, it's right now, the way the schedule is laid out for you was you end up with a week 8 game that has you as a heavy favorite. And it looks like the players have answered your request to play well. And it's a really good, solid chance to say, wait, we're going in a good direction. Give us some things to work on for next week. And you'll probably be a pretty heavy favorite in the quarterfinal game as well. Working in the 1-8 game, 2-7 game, probably somewhere in that range, depending on how the PowerPoints fall out. There's always a little bit of mad science at PowerPoints a little bit. So everybody you played and everybody else has played changes the points a little bit. So you're going to be ahead for 2 weeks in a row. You're going to be the heavy favorite, and this is how it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the standings later on and to see what those PowerPoints are. But you're right; it's always interesting how it's calculated too, and it's going to be interesting to see schools like Malvern, Seaford. You could throw a North Shore in there as well in terms of PowerPoints and the wins that they got or how close that they played. Remember, Malvern, before the injuries, they shut out the first 5 opponents, and then they knock off North Shore as well. So, that's an interesting team to see with the Mules, and as they go quite literally limping into the playoffs as we go charging into the second half. And Ben Stark with the boot. And a high bounce corralled by Chris Young, who then gives it off, and Gavin Lee, the speedster, tries to burn ahead and picks up an extra 10.
Had a little hidden ball trick going on right there. Usually you see it on a lacrosse, trying to hide that thing a little bit, right? But they had a little hidden ball action.
After a little trickery, number 1.
And so, Mike, for West Hempstead, it hasn't been their banner season that they've wanted so far this year, or in fact in this game. But for Dom Carey, a lot of pride on the line. What do you think was said at halftime? And still still anybody's game. Only down 3 scores. Of course, you're going to need a lot to get done on defense, but it starts with your offense.
You got to say, this is, the last half of football for the team that's for 2023 West Hempstead Rams football team. And what do we got, Who are we? And it doesn't just say who your team is, but what your program's all about. And you mentioned earlier the JV's having a fine season and hopefully going to finish, having a great record there. And that's what you want as a program, right? A program is not a team winning and losing. It's what goes on through all the different levels. And so you're playing for the program right now. You're playing for your last chance to be together. And it's weeks of work. And you're also playing for what the program represents.
6 carry for Dildy for 32 yards now. And Dildy, one of those guys, like you mentioned, that will be on this team next year, and a lot of pride for the Rams, and still an opportunity to play spoiler and to try and throw that monkey wrench into this final week of the season against Cold Spring Harbor.
The league's pretty wide open in terms of, I think there's 4 or 5 teams who are all pretty much could be in the hunt, and if any of them are in the final, you wouldn't be too shocked, right, at what's going to happen. And that makes for good playoff football in November.
Ram run number 1, Gavin Lee.
Now I'm interested to see what we get out of Island Trees, Seaford in person. That'll be a fun one. And like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, all of the semifinals and final games will be live streamed on the Varsity Media Sports Network as first minute and a half of play.
I'm excited. I'm doing most of them.
Yeah, we'll be together. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited to do the games, and when you get to go to Hofstra and play, and all bets are off. Seeding's out the window. Everyone's records thrown out. You got to go. You got to win every game. You got to win every week.
Up the gut. Here's Dildy. He's got a first down as that moves the sticks and brought down by Joe Kiley. And what a journey it's been for Kiley, too. A player who was on JV last year, worked really hard into a starting spot now. His first year with Varsity, and 6'2", 175 of pure muscle, and he gets his first wrap down of the second half.
Sure, good takedown right there. And then also you had, it looks like McGoin was in there trying to rip that ball out a little bit as the second man in. Sometimes I think that's what happens when you're trying to create turnovers. You see it on Saturday and Sunday all the time. The first man in is trying to strip the ball, make the tackle, get the tackle secured, and the second and third man in as you're finishing it off, try to go for that strip.
Well, you mentioned Bauer, the Michigan lacrosse commit. Well, McGloin's going to be going to Middlebury to play lacrosse as well. Up the gut, this is Gavin Lee, the senior, leaving it all out on the field in his final regular season game across the 40 and close to the 35, and a flag down on the far side of the field.
Gavin Lee, stop by number 5, 4 and 83, 5 San Bruno.
See what Mike Mormino tells us is going on here. And, this is a little typical for West Hempstead. If it's against them, go, 1 step forward, 2 steps back a little bit.
Mike Mormino, the white hat.
There was a flag on the play.
And a face mask against Cold Spring Harbor.
Face mask against Cold Spring Harbor. They'll get a little more tacked on. And I think one thing for John Madreski is, you just come out of the half, you have a pretty big lead, and, you have to learn how to come out of halftime. Get off the seats, get off your chairs, warm up, and get ready to play again. And that's a, you've done it 8 times now, but your 8th time doing it. But you got to keep working at it and being ready to go. And when you get in the playoffs, you can't have those bad first possessions in the second half. You got to be ready to go at all times.
From the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. And the push, Dan Guillen, as he gets gang tackled.
I like Guillen right there. He went downhill on the little inside give and bounced it out and went downhill and created some contact. Give it to that guy again. Give it to him again.
Grayson Meek had first contact. Meek, one of those 2 sport athletes as well, but he's a wrestler by trade and someone who just wreaks a lot of havoc. You ever have any wrestlers on your lacrosse teams?
We have a few over the years. Yes, some very good ones, but also here, Cold Spring, the wrestling program is very good here in the smaller school division, and they're a very good team and very well coached. And so a lot of those guys, 2 sport guys, are also the wrestlers.
Here's Gavin Lee, shakes it wide and brought down.
Good pursuit right there. You can see it was all getting turned back inside. You have Kevin Burns in the game right there, playing on the defensive side, number 22, it looks like, turning it back inside. And that lets Howell get to the ball and make the play.
Yeah, Howell and Burns. And Burns, another guy, too, that Madrensky said if he could have 12 positions out there, that Burns would be there. One of the first guys off the bench, and does a good job in the secondary as he starts to empty his bench now. Sam Giaraputo comes on, the senior. As Giaraputo comes in.
Sure, one player here, a player there. Not really fully subbing all 11 defenders, but using a few different players, trying to get him some reps. They're back out to his twins formation to the wide side here. See if they're going to try to throw it out here. Look, we have a little offsides.
And a hard count, and this will give the Rams the first down as Howell with some movement on the hard count.
Think about football. You need 11 men making the same, playing together, making plays, and a lot of things can go on. They always give you things to correct, right? There's always mistakes being made, and that's one of those correctable things. If you're Cold Spring Harbor, make West Hempstead earn the first down. Don't give it away. And there's always coaching corrections and coaching points when they watch the film, probably on Monday, and go through the film and say, there's still always things to get better. As you can see by doing this, they've gotten Cold Spring Harbor kind of goes 3 over 2 out here and tries to softens up a little bit. Really good gain on first down right there.
The one interesting thing about Cole and his carries is that it looks like a sneak, and then he just gains an extra 4 or 5 yards.
Good push up inside right there on the inside of their offensive line with the center, William Cruz and Gene and Ortiz at the guard spots, trying to get that inside push.
Cruz and Ortiz, 2 young guys. Cruz only a junior, Ortiz a sophomore. They'll both be back next year. Here's Dildy up the middle, close to the end zone. He's in for the score. So from 13 yards out, Dildy gets the score and puts the Rams on the board.
Sure, Dildy off that short toss. You can see they get the blockers in front, even the quarterback jumping in and getting a little piece of a defender. You can see it here. They go in that no motion early. He just comes around hard. They toss it to him, and it's really not that wide toss. It's supposed to get to the sidelines. It gets stretched. It's really like a north-south toss. Ty takes it up inside that tackle.
And the Rams are going to go for 2. Keeper push up the middle. Meek with the denial.
Meek, he was not Meek right there. Get up in the winning the line of scrimmage, getting across and getting a wrap on the quarterback, and that's no good.
Wasn't exactly the pin down, but either way, that keeps West Hempstead off the board on the 2-point conversion. We'll take a quick break on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Still 6 minutes, 39 seconds left in the third quarter.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life, and now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. West Hempstead gets on the board as they trail by 15, 21-6. Just over halfway through the third quarter. He's Mike Hungerford. I'm John Perez. Final regular season game of the 2023 season for both of these programs as the kick is scooped up at the 35-yard line. Ryan McGloin charges forward.
Good pickup right there by McGloin. Forget the lacrosse part of it. He's playing a little shortstop right there with a clean pickup, good return. Great starting field position for Cold Spring Harbor, and I thought maybe you might see a little fake maybe right there from nothing to lose from West Hempstead, but they played it pretty straight up. And this would be Cold Spring Harbor's first attempt at the ball here in the second half, and West Hempstead ate quite a bit of time off that clock, almost half the quarter on their drive, and let's see if Cold Spring Harbor get their mind right here and answer the bell.
Well, and in terms of the clock, West Hempstead has to do the opposite. They have to roll a 3 and out and give their offense an opportunity.
Timeout, West Hempstead.
Timeout taken by West Hempstead as Dom Carey saw the lineup of his defense and called a timeout after looking at the offense. But
They were a little light on defensive players to the wide side of the field towards the press box side. I think he wanted to get realigned. Their alignment was off.
Enjoying a nice hamburger tonight from the Snack Shack.
With that said, you can bring your game to life with Varsity Media Sportscast, coming with announcers, instant replays, multiple camera angles, graphics, great for rival games, senior day, or general promotion of your team or a playoff matchup next week. Contact us to book a Sportscast, 516-403-2050, or visit varsitymedia.net and follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Varsity Media.
I know I'm a little biased, John, but a lot of good broadcasts we've had this year, and great graphics, and identifying the players and highlighting their deeds in the field. It's a pretty cool thing.
It's been a lot of fun. I think our MVP has been Chris Sweeney so far. Pressured is Bruno and thrown away, and there's that quarterback on quarterback as Declan Cole was bringing down Bruno, and a flag comes out, and should be an intentional grounding. Remember, it's got to reach the line of scrimmage. You got to be out of the pocket. And you got to have a receiver near you, and I don't think he checked all three boxes.
Right there, looks like that. The defensive player there, I think that was. I missed which player had the pressure. I'm sorry, John. Cole, but he gets up the field, Cole, and a little surprised Bruno a little bit, and Bruno tries to throw that ball away, but he definitely has to get it past the line of scrimmage. And you saw Coach Carey was complaining a little bit, wanted the flag, and it took a little while, but the flag was thrown.
And so they'll pick up the flag. Check that. So Mike Mormino.
Okay. I guess they said that receiver that was nearby was close enough. Mike Mormino, a veteran official, does a great job. And decided that was an incomplete pass. Okay right there.
So on 2nd and 10, Bruno, the quick give, and it's Bauer. And Bauer is stuffed. Nico Adikamakis with the takedown.
Alex Bauer with the run, stopped by the Rams. Number 24.
Good tackle right there. Good solid tackle. Getting low on the runner. Take him up high. He gets him onto the floor. So it's third and 8 right now. And you're pretty big down for West Hempstead, If you just think of the first half, John, what if West Hempstead didn't shoot themselves in the foot and got in there before in the first half? And it was maybe at the end of the half, Coach Bahama doesn't take it a little light, and maybe they try to score. But we're talking about a play here and a play there. A game could be a little different.
No, and you're looking at a 2-score game that might just be a 9-point result. And now you're only down those handful of points. 3rd and 7, the give, and pushing ahead, it's Bauer. And Bauer once again converting for Cold Spring Harbor. They've been so efficient on 3rd down. And that'll move the sticks again for the Seahawks.
When they ever really needed yards, they go back to that right side of that line of scrimmage right there with Grego and Stella up front. With the two bigger guys, Stella listed at 225 and Grego bigger than that, it looks like, right? And just, getting that push on that right side and let Bauer do the rest.
It's now 8 first downs for Cold Spring Harbor. They're 3 of 3 on 3rd down. But, yeah, you mentioned Stella, and he did a really good job in the weight room over the offseason. And Joe Madrensky says he's in the best shape of his life, has good feet, and has just done a good job up front for the Seahawks.
I think one issue with them trying to squeeze a pass in here is those defensive ends are coming up a little too much there from West Hempstead. But the defensive end, the edge players right there, call them outside linebackers, the defensive ends, however they're aligned, they're coming pretty hard. Coach Brown has been able to turn them out and run up inside them, but on passing plays, they've caused a little bit of problem, and maybe they just got to keep the ball on the ground here if you're Cold Spring Harbor.
As a result of the penalty, Cold Spring Harbor 1st and 5 from the 40-yard line.
Well, no reason not to, and what they're also doing is taking the air off the, out of the clock as well. And the clock continues to run, 4.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. And if you want to try and suffocate West Hempstead, you could do so while they're on defense. A lot of these players are two ways, and some fatigue can go in there with a long sustained drive. As that's Bruno, chugs ahead, and a gain of 4 will be 2nd and short.
Looks like they're going to have an option play coming there, and Bruno decided to keep it.
Sam Bruno turns and keeps the
you can see the misdirection with Bauer going one way and the other backs, and Bruno going the other direction. So a little version of making sure the defenders have their eyes in the right places. We talked about half in the field, right? Once again, the players on the left side take care of what's going on the left. The players on the right take care of the right. So second down and, 2.5, 3 here. If you're Cold Spring Harbor, you got 3 downs to get 2.5 yards. Pretty good situation.
On second and short, Bruno calls his own number, sleds ahead.
That's a serious quarterback sneak right there. That's an 8-yard quarterback sneak. The other day I heard Nick Sirianni, the coach of the Eagles, talking about that short yardage play, saying that they're so successful at it that they would obviously punt if the ball was deep in their own end, but they're saying most of the time I'm working with 4 plays because I know if it gets to 4th and short, we're going to get it. So it's interesting how it changes the play calling, knowing you really have 4 plays when most people are thinking that you're only going to have 3.
And you never know when you're going to need that 4th play either, and it keeps everybody guessing. Quick hitter. Here's McGloin. Sheds the double team and brought down. Adadakamankis with the takedown.
Bruno just thrown it out there to McGloin, and there's 2 defenders, and McGloin kind of slips him, and that's an easy way to steal 8 yards right there if you're Cold Spring Harbor. I think that was their first completion of the night by Bruno.
Yeah, you're right. Bruno now 1 for 2. And you're right. You mentioned a successful passing game for Cold Spring Harbor and a victory. You're looking at what, 4 of 6?
I think both teams are looking at maybe even less. You're looking at like 2 of 3, or it's not the yardage. It's what you get out of those 2 or 3 plays. They could be touchdowns.
Second and short, just over 2 to play in the third. Bauer pushes the pile. Has the first down, and inside the 20.
So now they get, flag thrown in there.
Alex Bauer with the run, but there is a flag on the play.
I think Mike Mormino was tired of seeing all those guys pushing back and forth, and the whistle was blowing, and he wants to, make sure this game has control.
And it's called against Cold Spring Harbor.
Guess he felt a little extra from the offensive line right there.
Who's in the senior? We have not called for.
And so this will push back the Seahawks.
Both sides.
Big penalty, 15 yards. When the man in stripes is walking through your huddle with the ball in his hands, not a good sign.
No, and Mormino really laying it into Cold Spring Harbor. So not sure what he saw there, but might have heard the magic words too. Not sure, but either way.
I think he just felt it was just too much. I think they were blowing the whistle, and it was like, that's enough. And he just wants to make sure the game ends the right way, and he's going to do his part to maintain control.
So second and call at 12. Bauer shuffles his feet, picks up about 5, and good pickup for Bauer today.
Sure gets him back to a manageable 3rd and 8, almost let's call it 9, almost 8.5, 8 and change, and you probably have 2 downs to get 9 yards, right? So the 2 play possibilities certainly could affect the play calling here.
3rd and 8 with 1 minute 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
Cold Spring Harbor pretty much stayed in formation here with that power eye look with the split.
Bruno bumped at the line before the give to Bauer.
Bauer's got a good 7 right there.
Run for the Seahawks, number 11, Alex Bauer. Stopped by the Rams.
We don't have the exact stat, but the yards after contact for Bauer have to be through the roof, and what he's been able to do in getting past the front line for West Hempstead.
Sure, a good high school back like Bauer is going to have tremendous yards after contact numbers, and also, that forward lean, always going forward. You have 4th and 2 right here. I don't know if they'll go sneak here. It looks like they got a player right over the center.
Good call, the sneak. Bauer drives.
I don't think he's going to have it.
No, brought back. Big tackle, Laniker Jean. In there with the takedown, the senior, 5'10", 190. Pushing back Bruno.
I thought Jonathan Merrow might have been in there. The D tackle was kind of standing up a little bit, kind of like,
Not good enough for the first down. The Rams take over, 1st and 10.
He's a thick guy. They lifted him at 5'9", 225. That's a man with some thickness right there, but didn't get him blocked. And I think this has not been the quarter that Cold Spring Harbor had in the first half for sure. In the first 2 quarters. And with the backs West Hempstead have with somebody like Lee and Dildy, maybe we're only a play away from being able to get close.
Dildy gives it to Lee.
Little scissor right there, a little reverse.
Brought down by Meek and Andrew Handangianis. And so with the final seconds counting down, we'll go to the 4th with Cold Spring Harbor leading 21-6. And West Hempstead trying to play spoiler on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
That was Gavin Lee with the run and tackle by Cold Spring Harbor.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Inside the 10 to the end zone.
Oh, he's got a wide open receiver. A.J. Duff. Get out of the way! Dante Torres! Towards the end zone. Touchdown.
10-5 touchdown.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream media partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and football, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
West Hempstead trailing by a few scores, and with the ball, 2nd and 5 to start off the 4th quarter. He's Mike Hungerford. I'm John Perez, and West Hempstead looking for their 3rd win and trying to spoil the final regular season week of the year for Cold Spring Harbor. And on 2nd and 5, the give straight up.
Riley.
As that was Declan Cole, and the clock will stop as James Grigo a little shaken up for Cold Spring Harbor.
Might have the all too famous 4th quarter cramp.
That was a short gain. That leaves the Rams 3rd and 2.
And so while we have a quick break, be sure to follow us on social media as well by scanning the QR code on the top left of your screen. That'll bring you right over to YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook. And be sure to follow today. And, with that said, we were talking about PowerPoints and potential seedings and all that. Well, here you go. You got Seaford at the top with Malvern, Cold Spring Harbor. So Cold Spring Harbor right now slotted into that 3-6 game. They would take on the defending county champs in North Shore, another team that could really run with the ball. And if the season ended today and those were the records, pretty good matchups all around, and Conference 4 is going to be a lot of fun, Mike.
Sure, absolutely. There's a lot of good matchups today. One of those top teams, you can see them in the final and be like, I'm not surprised. It's gonna happen.
Mike.
3rd down and 2. And the push up the middle. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
They've had a few 3rd and shorts or 4th and shorts. They've fumbled or made some mistakes. West Hempstead, but not this time. And they're able to move the chains right there.
They've done a good job on Gavin Lee so far in this game. He's had 8 carries for now only 20 yards. And, Mike, this is a guy that came into the game and he was averaging, 12 yards per carry. He's contributed to a 3rd of that so far today. It's really been Dildy who's got 8 carries for 50 yards. Before that, TFL. Good stop in the backfield. That was Hunter Ulico, the junior.
Hunter Ulico, good play, and that's this half, West Hempstead been kind of on schedule. They've been getting yardage, 2nd and 8, going from his first and 10 to like 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4. But Uoco will get with a big play right there, gets him off schedule right there, and now it's 2nd and almost 13. So that's not what you want if you're West Hempstead, but a great play by Uoco right there for the tackle for loss.
Second and a baker's dozen. Back to pass. Cole flings it. Far side, incomplete. A little too high for Riley Leddick. And good coverage by Joe Kiley. Incomplete, and this will set up 3rd and long.
He might have thrown a little more, ball a little lower on his numbers. He might have had him, but the coverage was pretty good. And once again, he's that drag across the field from the tight end spot.
Just seems with Cole, he's been throwing a lot off his back foot, and it really hasn't been, recipe for success for most quarterbacks, especially for Cole today.
Sure, weather conditions are pretty good. Just not as balls aren't too accurate, and some defensive pressure up front makes throwing the ball a little tougher.
As the ball comes out, and West Hempstead's on top of it.
These are the mistakes that, keep a team from having a winning record sometimes, John. The reason why you're 2-5, and sometimes it's plays like these. You just can't put, how many positive plays could you put together in a row? And West Hempstead, it looks like, can't put too many of them in a row.
And so decision time for Don Carey. He's got a Cold Spring Harbor team on the other side that, time of possession-wise, it's been pretty even. They held the ball for 18 minutes so far, but they have those long, sustainable drives, and you're trailing by 15, so make that 2 scores if you go for 2 on one of those. And it looks like the Rams are going to go for it.
A bunch of the game is right now.
Quick pass near side, one-handed catch, Gavin Lee, but it's going to be well short. After the 10-yard pickup.
Up being short for the first down.
Good tackle right there.
Downs for the Rams.
And let's take another look, Mike, as good pass, nice catch, but
I think that's Bruno right there rallying to the football. He threw it to the shallow man right there, and Bruno coming down over from his safety spot just secures the tackle McGloin as well. So good defense rallying to the football. I think if you're West Hempstead, you kind of had to go there because you might only be guaranteed to have the ball back one more time, depending on what Cold Spring was able to do with the ball. So you had to go for it there, and now that's giving Cold Spring a great field position to work with here.
Well, West Hempstead was able to figure out Cold Spring Harbor in the 3rd quarter. And we'll see if the defense throws up another goose egg. On first down, Bruno, play action, spins it down the field. He's got a man incomplete. Tim Pisano, the intended receiver. Usually the tight end going out in deep coverage, and the 2 can't hook up. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That Pisano there from this tight end spot running that corner out, and just couldn't, the ball couldn't complete it. You can see him from the near tight end spot. He was the deeper route. There was a shallow, and he just couldn't put the ball on him, Bruno. Bruno Jr. will be back quarterback in the team again next year, so he'll only get better with these plays that, these plays that are like close or maybe not hooking up. As a senior, everything will be so much easier.
Dresky says he's been as steady can be. Well, Mr. Steady and Mr. Reliable, Bauer has eyes on the end zone. 10-5, touchdown. That's number 4. No flags from 36 yards out. Bauer's got another one. He's responsible for all the Seahawks offense tonight. And Cold Spring Harbor opens it up.
Bauer.
Solid run by Bauer right here, you could see.
That was a 37-yard touchdown.
But both backs on the same side to block, loaded up, and Bauer does the rest. Good blocking on that right side. Whenever they've needed yardage, they've gone to that right side, and they've secured those blocks. It's a bit of a two-way isolation play there with a blocker on the outside and inside. He just kind of picks his spot, and Bauer does the rest. why it's a team game, right, John? You know, Bauer gets for 4 touchdowns. He's a guy in the paper. You see Bauer. But without the blockers in front of him, doesn't really happen too much.
And so Cold Spring Harbor doesn't have their kicker out there yet. Flag is on the field, and so a delay game.
I think actually they might have called it unsportsmanlike conduct on West Hempstead on the touchdown play. It looked like there was something going on between one of the West Hempstead players and Cold Spring Harbor players. Cold Spring Harbor player ended up on the ground, pretty far away from the play. And I think the choice they have is whether you want that yardage. And I think they're going to take it on the kickoff.
And so now Ben Stark is out there to kick the extra point. Stark 2 for 3 today. He didn't miss the last field goal. It was just a low snap that was handled by Schoon. Maker, there is the extra point. He drills it. And a 28-6 lead for Cold Spring Harbor as they're starting to open it up against West Hempstead. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, West Hempstead looking for the response of the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Nine minutes remaining in the fourth quarter as Cold Spring Harbor gets on the board for the first time in the second half, and they lead at 28-6. Alex Bauer with 4 TDs today, and Bauer has just been a monster so far for Cold Spring Harbor. 17 rushes for 203 yards and those 4 TDs.
That's a night right there.
Yeah.
That's a man's night right there.
Now the officials on the field once more.
Yep, they got to move that ball. Yep.
And so the 15-yard on the unsportsmanlike, you would think. But check that. It's just going to be another 5 yards. So give the extra yardage to Stark. And so now another whistle, and I think this is supposed to be normally 15 yards, right?
All right, we just got to get that math right. Here we go.
So if you're Stark, do you just try and kick it into the woods?
You could. Not a bit. I mean, listen, the score's 28-6, so it's not going to happen. But if it was a situation where the game was closer, not a bad time to onside kick. If you don't get it, what are they gaining? You know, they're not gaining. Usually when you onside kick, the ball ends up in your own half of the field when you don't get it or close to it. But he'll kick it away here.
And so end over end and into the end zone. And the touchback, and the Rams will take over.
And that's a touchback for the Rams.
Stark putting it in there. Good work.
9 minutes left in the game.
Every time I hear those names like Stark, I think of like Game of Thrones analogy comes up right away.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Tony Stark from Iron Man. Come on, man. They have a whole franchise about it.
I'm a little more of a darker guy than that in terms of like my
Ned Stark,
Ned
I guess.
Stark,
Yeah,
that's
all right.
right. Yeah,
okay,
come on.
All right. What is it? Open the door, right? Hold the door. That's what it was. Brian Butler on top of that. I only saw the first episode. They threw that kid out the window, and I stopped watching. Up the middle. And the carry on first down, a pickup of 3. As that was The QB again, Declan Cole.
Declan Cole, number 7. Stopped by Cole.
John Press trying to sell us that.
On
the Game of Thrones, we're not believers up here in the press box.
Listen, I tried. I really did. Everyone said it was great, and then they just end up erasing your characters throughout the whole show, right? Isn't that one of the knocks?
Gonna go home and watch Little House on the Prairie reruns.
No. House on the Prairie.
I'm reaching deep now. I got Brian Butler in tears right now.
I'd rather watch the Jeffersons.
Oh, there's a cut. Oh, we have
flag is out. Yeah,
down.
Gavin Lee getting the cardio in across midfield, still on his feet. And eventually Cold Spring Harbor comes in and won't be brought down, but a flag will send him all the way back down to the field.
It might be.
That ram is eventually caught by number 51, senior Chris Adeo.
Chris Adeo right there making the tackle. I think that might be coming back.
There is a flag on the play.
And we have a hold. Kind of the microcosm of a bit of West Hempstead season a little bit right there.
And unfortunately, Mike, you just have to go through the growing pains. And
I will tell you this about West Hempstead, Mike. It was 21-0 at halftime. It would have been real easy for them to come out and be like, Coach, we hear you, but we're not going anywhere. We're 2-5. It's not happening. 2-6. We're just going to go through emotions, and it's going to be what it's going to be. They competed in the second half. They came down and they scored, and they got back in the game, and they got a stop against Cold Spring Harbor, and they've acquired themselves pretty well in the second half. And hats off to them, just competing and not stop competing. I said in the open, you only play 8 times. Make the most of those 8 opportunities.
Here's the pitch, Christian Dildy. And Dildy with positive yardage. Well, one guy that's really made tonight his own has been Christian Dildy, one of the positives for the Rams. And
on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Christian Dildy
had a couple good tackles on Bauer and McGloin.
For a loss.
Probably saved at least one touchdown with one tackle on Bauer. I thought Bauer was going to pop that one and go. And Dilby had a good low tackle and secured it up, wrapped him up, and got him on the floor. So,
well, you mentioned Dildy, the 50 yards on the ground on 11 carries. He's got 3 total tackles as well, and leaving it all out on the field. The final regular season game of the year. Back to pass. Cole steps into it. Long dart. It's caught. And a nice catch in stride. Riley Leddick with the pickup and tackled at the 30-yard line.
That was Cole's best ball of the night right there. Deep drop, reached back and threw that ball.
Moves the chains and first down.
You can see the tight end here.
West Hempstead, 6 minutes,
kind of running an out from the far hash to the wide side of the field, and that ball is delivered right on time, right on target. By far, Cole's best pass of the night.
13-yard gain. Almost at the midway point of the fourth quarter. Here's Lee. Chugs ahead and is stood up and stacked up. Mazzy in there as well as Aiden Smith, the junior, as they push Lee out of bounds.
Number 62, Aiden Smith pushes Gavin Lee right out of
bounds.
He was
Lee at 6 foot 180, and he's not a thick guy, but he runs hard, and he's hard to bring down. You get a wrap on him, and he's chugging those legs and shoulder pads and elbows, and he's tough to tackle.
And so starting to get a little late here in the game, and West Hempstead taking a while, too, to get to the line of scrimmage. Trailing by 22. Second and 4. Dildy goes in motion, receives the pitch, and sweeps it far side. Little stutter step, moves towards the first down marker, and stops the clock, and it'll be pretty close to the first down marker. Might have 3rd and short.
So you can see Dilby getting that toss much deeper and further around the back of the offense, right, where it's an outside toss with more speed to it, as opposed to that short toss that gets up inside the tackle that they were running on some other plays. So there's a couple of different ways to toss the football if you're West Hempstead in the offense. Dilby running hard right there. He'll be, close to 60 yards now.
3rd and short for West Hempstead. Up the gut, Dilby again. That's good for a first down, and he keeps on going.
Little fullback dive up in there, just,
Oh, you're right,
those guys
Gian,
are so close together. Those guys, the alignment is so tight. You're almost in a wedge. You're almost in a sneak situation just by your alignment.
Christian Dilby moves the chains for the Rams. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line.
Look around the sideline side. You can see Mike Bongino, the AD from Cold Spring Harbor down there. I used to see him. He runs a great program here up in Seahawk land. Great job by him as the athletic director, one of the best athletic directors in all of Nassau County, if not Long Island.
Down the field, incomplete. Busy week for Bongino, too, and the rest of us on Varsity Media. He's one of the chairs for the girls' soccer division as well, and for Varsity Media, we are the home for the Nassau County semifinal and championship games. Got a bunch of boys and girls soccer tomorrow, and you could watch along on varsitymediapass.com. And, of course, Mike will be there at Hofstra for the semifinals and finals on the football side of things as well. It's a great time in Nassau County, especially in the fall.
Absolutely, this time of the year, getting to the end. Great coverage right there in the previous play by Cold Spring Harbor. Travis Stroud with the deep receiver. Dive again. Good push up front, and there's the bounce.
Gian on his feet, goes head-to-head with Schoonmaker and brought down at the 35-yard line as the ball comes out afterwards.
I'm requesting more Gian. Let's give it to him again. He runs hard. Up inside, bounces that. Great run by Gian, the fullback. You can see here, just dive, and he just pops out of it. Good job up the offensive lineup inside there. William Cruz, Lakener Jean, Joseph Suarez Ortiz up inside, getting that push for West Hempstead. There's a short toss.
Dildy, a little spin, and gets halfway home.
Goes to see on the sidelines Carl Friedman, the school doctor here at Cold Spring Harbor. School doctor for several districts on Long Island, and also a very accomplished official in several sports himself, football official. Dr. Carl in the house.
Where would you rather be on a Friday night? Especially when you got a team as good as Cold Spring Harbor's been this year, looking for their 7th win. They're less than 4 minutes away from achieving that. Cole rolls, flag is out, tucks it, and angles up the sideline.
74.
Really good coverage there by Cold Spring Harbor. You get run, you get dive. Maybe I'll sniff up in there, coach. I don't want to make the tackle. I'm in the game. I want to make a play. And right there, good job by Cold Spring Harbor covering up the West Hempstead receivers.
75 we're giving it to? Is that,
Easier said than done sometimes, the way the offense all of a sudden is, you can't see the ball, it's hidden in there.
Rams run, stopped by Cold Spring Harbor's number 77.
And so this will push back West Hempstead again.
One thing about playing against the people in the spread in the shotgun is you always see the ball right away, right? That ball gets snapped, you can see it. That ball underneath and in the under center and coming out, stepping and hiding the ball a little bit, misdirection. Hard to find that football sometimes.
And so Cole rolling back out there. Just over 3 minutes to play in the 4th. It'll be 2nd and a country mile.
A little discussion in the backfield right now.
And under 10 seconds left on the play clock.
Can't be a play you run all the time. You're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Got to be something a little different.
Well, you got Gian right behind as Dildy goes in motion. Slings it over the middle, and it's taken away. A pick. The other way, Declan Schoonmaker still on his feet. And what could be the final blow for this Cold Spring Harbor defense ends in a pick by Declan Schoonmaker and some extracurriculars afterwards.
Bad thing to do right here. You get in trouble again.
Well, let's take another look at the play.
Schoonmaker double coverage. Double coverage on the on the receiver, and Schoonmaker just steps in and makes a great play. Great interception. Fortunately, we had some extracurriculars go on after the play, and some flags are out. And
well, we'll see how the officials sort this one out, but with 2:37 to play and Cold Spring Harbor looking to play for a championship, you just want to get everybody back to the sideline and not deal with any more trouble, and don't want to deal with any suspensions or anything like that either.
Yeah, you don't want anybody getting in trouble. The extra flag, getting thrown out of a game, and not be able to play next week. All those punishments are in effect, with which you're going to play on, and West Hempstead is not.
Well, you see out there the two head coaches, Bedrensky and Dom Carey, and I'll get a ruling from Mike Mormino and the rest of the crew.
Hopefully cooler heads will prevail for the final 2 hits and 37 seconds left here. Two teams competing pretty hard, and obviously the West Hempstead guys are a little frustrated, and Cold Spring Harbor guys feeling pretty good, and that doesn't always work well.
Can tell a lot by the body language, too. Carey a lot more animated with the officials than Medrensky.
Got flags everywhere out there.
Yeah.
Long discussion.
I don't know if the flags get labeled, which has which flag, or which official is the owner of which flag. And
I guess they're all the same, right? Maybe if some different. Some of the flags this year, they use those pink flags from Breast Cancer Month, and they're hard to see them on the sidelines on the field.
And check that, they're just going to call the game with 2:37 to go, and so Cold Spring Harbor wins it 28-6 as Alex Bauer scores 4 touchdowns in the win, and Cold Spring Harbor picks up their 7th victory of the season, first time since 2021 that they won 7 games in a season. They got to a county final that year, losing to North Shore, and they'll look to get back to the county finals this year. West Hempstead season ends in a loss. They're 2-6. So that'll do it from Cold Spring Harbor. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director is Brian Butler. For my partner, Mike Hungerford, Becca Kazak is our camerawoman. Intern is Jared Veluzzi. Joe Wallace on stats. This is John Perez saying so long. This has been a presentation of Nassau Conference for Football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.